So, Declan, welcome to the Iron House.
Hello, mate.
What's it like to be here?
Very excited, yeah. Really excited.
I think the first time we met was at the Arnold's.
That's right, yeah.
And you were kind of in between picking arm wrestling back up again and getting back into it. And
that's right, yeah. I was doing my strongman until last year, and then this year full commitment back to arm wrestling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back through the intro pains again and...
No.
Did it come back?
No.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to do rapid fire questions. Hook, top roll press.
Hook.
Flop wrist or king's move?
Oh, God, that's the...
Both of them are pretty...
King's move.
Strap, no strap.
Strap.
Leg days.
Yeah. European record in squat, so leg day.
Defo does leg days. Tournaments or super matches?
I like super matches, I think. Yeah.
Favourite arm wrestler?
God, that's a hard question. Dennis Oplenkov.
Oh, the enemy of of one of the guys we've got here today.
Yeah.
Least favourite arm wrestler? Who's a right prick? No, it doesn't have to be the guy you don't like. It could be the style, but it could be the guy. If there's a guy that you just don't like, you want to call out?
No, there's no one I don't like. I don't like King's Move, so I'll say Michael Todd. I don't like King's Move then, so.
This is getting even less likely that you're going to be supporting Devon, because he doesn't mind the old King's Move either.
I was cheering him in Istanbul.
Yeah. Proudest arm wrestling moment?
Proudest arm wrestling moment?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think probably I had a super match with a guy called Tom Atherton, and he talked smack talk for me for about a year, and I just didn't rise to it, didn't bite. He'd even Facebook saying I was a red herring. I was just a strong man. I didn't know how to arm wrestle, and just tried to out me loads and loads. So we had a super match. I got out in a bad position and lost the first round. Psyched myself up in the corner, come back and won 4-1, and I just went bang, 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 pressed through him like 4 times, banged on the table, roared in his face. Do you know what I mean? That was a great moment, to be honest. Yeah, there was a bit of humble pie serve there.
Short-term and long-term arm wrestling goals?
I just want to be in that pro circuit. I want to be on Arm Wars. I want to be doing as many super matches and tournaments as I can. I want to be getting around Europe. I want to be pulling in all different competitions and just finding my level and just ruthlessly working my way through people. Let people know that I'm relevant in the sport of arm wrestling, that my top end power's there, and it's only really, in my mind, just a matter of time until I'm at that elite level.
Yeah. I mean, how old are you now?
29.
29. You're still a young man.
I'm still young, but I've been up. The thing is, as well, the thing that I've got to my advantage is that I've been around in multiple sports at a high level.
Yeah.
Powerlifting, I was British and European champion as a teen and a junior. I won England's strongest man at 20 in strongman, and competed with some of the strongest men in the world, trained with them. So that mindset I'll carry over into arm wrestling. I've also got the British record in strict curl as well.
Yeah.
So there won't be anyone in this house who can strict curl more than me. And
well, we've got some easy bars here. We might have a bit of a competition later.
Why not?
Let's get the arm wrestling first, and then. But by that point, no one's going to be able to strip kill. They won't be able to lift a fork. Never mind. So, short-term and long-term goals then.
Short-term, crush Adrian on the left arm. Let everyone know that my left is very strong. And I want medals this year as well as a short-term goal at the Nationals. Left and right arm in that top 3, ideally winning the left arm.
Yeah,
coming in the top 3 with Mindauglade and people like that.
Trash talk or sportsmanship?
I think sportsmanship, yeah, definitely. I don't really do the trash talking and things like that.
Yeah. Sounds like it gets under your skin as well when other people do it.
I'm big on respect. People are respectful to me, I'm respectful to them, yeah.
When you go to the table, are you testing yourself or are you fighting your opponent?
I think about me, it's about as an athlete, it's always been about my own journey and what I can do with my body and what I'm capable of. I think it's about our own growth, our own journey, and who we are. Testing ourselves, definitely, making ourselves uncomfortable, making ourselves push our own limits and things like that.
It is the most popular answer.
Is not. He's definitely relevant, but it's not as relevant.
Yeah. Strength, speed, stamina, technique. Rank them. What's most important? Strength, speed, stamina, technique.
Strength, I think, is the most important.
Yeah.
I think people forget that arm wrestling is a strength sport. Although it's a combat sport, it's a strength sport. If you can be stronger than that person in that fundamentals, back pressure, side pressure, you're going to win. I think strength, I think technique, because without the strength, without the technique in the correct places, you don't really have anything. So strength, technique, I think speed.
And then
it's very, speed and then stamina. Speed's super important. I think at the higher levels of arm wrestling, it's all super explosive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once you get up there, there's less catches.
And the reason stamina's at the bottom, although it's really important, it's a great thing to have both endurance and that top level strength is, there's always a trade-off for having loads of strength and then having stamina. And then if you can, I think if you're just stronger, you don't need to be worrying about stamina, do you?
No.
Because you can just look at someone like Chafee, when he's at his best, he just blasts through the guy like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't have the stamina, so yeah.
But do you need it if you can finish matches quick? If you've got good power,
exactly,
power enough to finish matches. Do you need you might be a bit out of breath by the 3rd or 4th round, but you've won by that.
Yeah, point. Of course, yeah.
Well, you said the same about strength. If you're strong enough, you don't need technique. I don't necessarily agree with that. But you could say the same about technique. If you've got enough technique, you can beat guys who are stronger than you.
The crossover is both, isn't it? Because with arm wrestlers, they say, there's loads of technique in arm wrestling. Technique's very important in arm wrestling, but you need the strength you need strength in specific areas, which is where the technique comes in. It always used to make me laugh at strongman when people say, but there's all that technique to picking up those atlas stones. There's literally none. Heavy. There's literally, it's the most primal thing. Picking up a 200 kilo atlas stone, there's no, you don't just technique something up. No. It's just raw brute strength. So same with arm wrestling and stuff, like a lot of time it's raw brute strength.
It's about, once you've got fundamentals, then I think strength really comes into it. You need fundamental technique. You need fundamental technique to pick a stone up off the floor. It doesn't matter how strong you are. You do need fundamental technique. Same with arm wrestling. You need to know the fundamentals. But once you've got that out of the way, then it is just about strength in terms of where the cap is. Yeah. I think, anyway. So now let's rate yourself. Declan.
Yeah.
Strength out of 10.
It depends if we're talking...
You can base it on whatever you want. You can base it on the final form you can base it on just your weight class. Yeah. Base it on whatever you want.
I think if we look domestically, let's say UK arm wrestlers, my strength's got to be at least a 9 out of 10. Okay. Strength-wise, and I'd argue in specific lifts or certain things like back pressure or biceps and stuff, it's probably there with anyone. Yeah. In the UK anyway. Technique is probably 7.
Okay. Speed?
It's something, it depends if it's firing, if you have a good day or a bad day. Speed's a bit of a weird one. I don't think it's as consistent as the strength is or whatever.
I think a lot of people the ability to be fast. I think a lot of people confuse speed with timing as well.
Yeah, true. Timing, and coordination and reaction times with arm wrestling.
And the accuracy of the movement.
Speed I'd probably put down to as a 7 as well. Okay. Speed and technique, 7, but strength 9 or 10.
Stamina?
I can go a while, I can go a while. I think when you're in a super match, it's that initial, if you have a hard first match or two and you get blown up, then there's this kind of like fall off of time where you need time to just recover between it. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm really into it, same as training, and you go in and you train that set really, really hard, you're blown up, you think, God, I can't keep this up for an hour, but it dies off a bit. So I think endurance is all right as well, to be honest.
When your body accepts that we're doing this anyway.
Yeah. Once it's going to blow up later, and then it's just getting past that, and it's a mental thing, really. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about your opponent. So let's talk about how this match has come together. Right. So how many hours ago did you get a phone call? and what's going on?
Well, I was out at East versus West 9.
Right.
I was in Carl Hutchinson's corner.
Cool.
He was representing like Britain and Ireland. He'd won his qualify. He faced a guy called Brad Grundy from America. Neil was out there commentating, obviously. I've known Neil for like years. And I said, Neil, you need to get me on the Arm Wars card, mate. And he was like, all right, Declan. He was like, what about Wednesday? And I was like, thought about it for about 5 seconds. And I was like, yeah, I can do Wednesday. Okay. And he was like, all right, you're in.
Yeah.
And I was like, I you know, it was me that suggested that I pull on my left. Good on both, but I kind of favour my left arm. I'd say it's a bit better, to be honest. Yeah, and Adrian does as well. And I know domestically that he's beat a lot of good big names in arm wrestling. He's a Romanian champion at like 95 kilo. Obviously, there's a bit of a weight difference with him myself. I'm 130 kilos, so I'm a lot bigger, but he's been around at kind of a high level competing for a long time, longer than myself. So I think it will be a battle of technique and styles, and it will be a battle of horsepower against seasoned, smooth arm wrestling. So I'm hoping if I can have my A game and pull smart as well and find the right lane, I do believe I can beat him. It's just about it'll be about figuring out in that first round or two where to go with him. And my left is more versatile than my right as well. So I do have, if something doesn't work, I can switch it in the middle of the match and change and try something else with him. But I'm expecting an absolute war. Like by no means, and I'm massively the underdog on it in this card, and also have nothing to lose.
I don't know, as you say, you are the bigger guy.
Yeah.
But he is very proficient with that left arm.
He is, yeah.
So yeah, well, it'd be great to see both of your staminas tested.
Yeah, I do want to get into war with him. I'd love to just end up in a hook with him, just testing each other. Do you know what I mean? And really just dig in and just see who wants it. Do you know what I mean? Because it may come down to that, you know, once the technique and strength from both knackered, it's just about to see who's got the dog in them to fight, you know? And that's why people love arm wars. That's why people love watching arm wrestling, isn't it? So I'm hoping to just take him to deep waters and drown him.
I can't wait. Declan,
cheers,
thank
buddy.
you very much.
Cheers,
man.